Hello and good day, everybody. Here we are with another live tape reading and execution. We are in the London session. Unfortunately, I failed to record the London morning trade, which I went long here at this low after the price returned to this gap, and then I closed partially all the way up. But that's okay. Right now, we are in the point of control of this leg, which also coincides with the total point of control. In here we have one rounded top. We took the liquidity above these highs. Now I seek for a short position after taking this long order. So I don't like these highs at the moment. These highs are very rounded. Perhaps one liquidity sweep above this high can provide me with a new trade. Let's have these highs on the chart. Now I know the point of control of this leg is here. I also like to know where is the point of control from this pivot high to this pivot low. There we go. We are slightly above the point of control. Value area high is at 27,953. Next is, of course, the cumulative volume delta. It looks healthy. However, on this bullish leg, look at this. We had a tail. This tail demonstrates we have pending orders resting at the highs. On the other hand, the cumulative volume delta is full-bodied, indicating bulls were absorbed by passive sellers. So first and foremost, we wait for the price to run a sweep, and then based on the candle structure, volume. I am looking at the Bollinger Bands right now. It would be nice to see the price exceed the upper band before I go short. I'd be more confident. If I go short right now at the current price, I'd be risking leaving my stop either above this high, 27,946, or above this high, 27,953. If I see a sweep at least above the first resistance or the first feeding area, I'd be more confident to leave my stop above the value area high. That's why I rather wait for that liquidity sweep. Over here we have 543 contracts. I want to see if they are trapped. Look at the cumulative volume delta. CVD is showing aggressive buyers coming to the market. Right now the tail matches the tail of CVD. So it's still early to short NASDAQ. One gap in here. Let's look at our volume from this low to that high. So the value area high is right here in this fair value gap. Let's wait for this fair value gap to be inverted. Order place. If I see a close below that fair value gap, I would like to move my pending order to the lower portion, but I want to see a close. Once I see a close, I will move the pending order to 27,934. I have to be quick. Let's do that. See if I can add 20 micro contracts in the mean threshold. I get that fill. I don't need to stop. Goes above this high at 27,956. $1,300 is at the risk. Now, as for the partial, I have 3 standard contracts or 30 micro contracts. Here, I would like to measure where is the point of control from this pivot low to this pivot high. For now, the profit taking is at equal low, slightly lower. I will have to go to 5 minutes chart to see where we are. I'm canceling the second order. I didn't get a fill. Now time to set a partial. 50% is at 27,914. I can exit 5 micro contracts here. Point of control of this bullish leg from this pivot low to this pivot high is at $27,897. So another partial should be taken here at the point of control, and then the rest I will leave them at 27,872. The first partial is done. We do have a high. I can move my stop loss level to break even. Now the price is attacking the point of control. At the point of control, that trade is also closed. I moved my profit slightly below 27,872 because we do have equal lows. The price tends to usually go a little bit deeper than that. Okay, the price is approaching our final profit very fast. I can move my stop above this bullish candle. Perhaps I should exit maybe 5 contracts at that low. Okay, it's going to the entire profit. Okay, exit 5 there, and I don't want to see a tail. I'm bringing my stop to $1,000. Okay. Yep, that was obvious. The price can potentially exceed a few more ticks below this low because we had equal lows in here, one in here and another one in here. On NASDAQ, we had this leg up from this pivot low to this pivot high. I wanted to know the value area high and the point of control, which act as resistance to the price. At the lows, we had equal lows at $27,872. The price over here did enter the point of control and tail. I did not short it at this price because I wanted to wait for more confirmation. I saw one high above that again at the point of control, but since this high is very equal or around the top, I was very cautious. Therefore, I used the Bollinger Band indicator to see if I can get another trap above the Bollinger Band, which happened in this candle. Furthermore, if I wanted to short at this price, I had to leave my stop above 27,953, which I was afraid if I get tailed, which it did, but I wasn't short on this trade. I waited for the price to do the damage, to run a liquidity, and then I'd be going short. So I had one inverted fair value gap in this area. So far, we have all our confirmation. We are at the point of control. A liquidity sweep is done, expecting the value area high. We have a tail. On the other hand, over here on this candle, you see that we have a full body CVD or cumulative volume delta showing bulls are very interested to push the price higher, but we have a tail. That tail shows passive sellers exist in the market. The price made a new high right here. Cumulative volume delta failed to make a new high. Actually, it made equal highs. So over here, we have a tiny divergence. I'm short the momentum indicator also give us the same signal. I did not check momentum, but it's good to do it right now. We have a new high on the price. On the other hand, momentum indicator did not make a new high. That's divergence or market exhaustion. Once that's done, I moved or I shifted the volume profile to this leg, which is the point of control from this pivot high. This pivot low is right here at 936. I waited for the price to rip through this fair value gap and inverted. I left 30 micro contracts right at the lower portion of the gap and 20 micro contracts in the mean threshold. The first one was filled. I left the stop at the highs, closed partially at 50% of this range. Then what I did was, once my first partial is filled, I wanted to know what is the or where is the point of control of this range. From this pivot low to this pivot high, the point of control was at 897. I exited the second partial, and the third partial slightly below those equal lows. That was the trade for the London session. I also had a buy order earlier, which unfortunately I couldn't record that. I was in rush. Well, thank you for watching. I will see you live in the power hour. That's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, stay safe and stay observant.